Dyer's Daily.
In this industry that I find myself in after 10 years of trying and making things, building stuff, I still, even now, receive feedback from listeners and consumers to my material, because I do this podcast, I do YouTube stuff, I write things, and you're always going to get your critics. Now, I've worked with people that have had an opinion about those critics that you should just ignore them, that they're just nasty people wanting to get at you or ruin all the hard work that you've put in. Now, there is a certain level that has that effect, where it is just so that you literally are like, why would you say such a thing? That's absolutely awful. But in about 90% of feedback I receive, I think there is always, even if it's negative, there's always some level of positive. And it reminds me somewhat of the Simpsons episode, season 11, I think it is, with Mel Gibson, where they attend a movie preview of a new film that Mel Gibson is in. And Mel has had kind of reservations about taking on this role. It's very different to what he's done before. And everyone's gushing over it, thinking it's wonderful. And then they realise Mel's there, and they hand him all of their feedback about it, and it's all gushing. But Homer, being Homer, thinks it's the biggest load of rubbish that he's ever seen. And in meeting with executives, Mel, in The Simpsons, says, well, this is great, this is great, this is great. That's all everybody is saying. And there's one review from Homer that says this is rubbish. And the executive's reply to him is, just ignore him, he's just a nut. And Mel replies, or maybe he is the only person honest enough to tell me the actual truth. Now, I realise that that's got more to do with celebrity culture and the fact that some people, if they love a person, they'll say that they love it. It's kind of like when it's your own family. Yeah, when they do something, you're like, oh, that's wonderful, that's great. You know, when it's your own family and or someone that you really, really admire, they can kind of do no wrong. But when it comes from an everyday person like that, and certainly I believe that every comment, except for the really ones, I can't even think of an adjective to describe it, there is always something to be gained from them. Some kind of nugget of truth in there that perhaps you didn't consider before. Maybe there's a slight thing that you do when you speak that perhaps you didn't realise that you did until someone pointed it out. And so all I say is, the next time you get some criticism about something, try not to take too much notice, but take just a little bit of notice of it. Just see if you can find something in there, because in my experience, there is something in there. There is that little nugget. And I've had it quite recently, and I'm sure I shall tell you about it on a future podcast, but I've had it quite recently where people have given me feedback, and initially it's like, what do they know? But then you start reading deeper into what they say and go, well, that tiny little line there that I dismissed on the front because it's like, how dare you tell me what to do, that is actually worth looking at. So yeah, that's something I wanted to pass along to you. Thank you very much for listening to this edition of Dyer's Daily. Please remember to rate, comment and subscribe on your favourite podcast provider. This is Jamie Dyer saying have a great day and bye-bye for now.